Hi everyone, this is Jim. Welcome to this Blitz chess postmortem video. This is a postmortem of my Blitz chess game number 85, where my opponent played f4, the bird's opening, and I responded with e5, the from gambit. So let's take a look at this. f4, as I say, bird's opening. Now you don't have to play a crazy gambit against it. You can play a normal move like d5. Gives you a good game. It looks like knight f6, knight f6. Knight f6 is an idea, and d5 is an idea. But I played e5. This is a gambit line, and you can play it. And it's okay if white takes that pawn. That's probably the main move here. If he plays e4, then we've just transposed into a king's gambit, and you could play whatever you normally play against the king's gambit. And if he takes it, let's take a look at that line. If he takes it, the idea of the gambit is to play d6. And if he takes that, which is the main line, then you take with the bishop. And you're going for a quick attack, and in particular you want to take advantage of this diagonal here. So there's a mate on if you can land a bishop or a queen on this square, because nobody's guarding that diagonal. He's given up his f-pawn, which normally protects it. So for example, if he were to play a move like knight c3, you can see there's a mate in 3 already. Check. Block it. Take it with the bishop or the queen. I guess it's more dramatic to take with the queen. Takes with the pawn, and you can checkmate him with the bishop. Okay, so that's game over. Of course, somebody who's playing from the bird's opening is probably going to be familiar with this, and he's going to know that the move here is not knight c3, which loses, but knight f3. And the interesting main line here is g5, immediately trying to dislodge this knight and try and get some stuff going over here. And he can counter with d4, and it goes on. Let's look at a few more moves, I guess. d4, g4 hitting the knight, knight e5. And now if you trade here, which is, I guess, one of the main lines, then it gets kind of drawish, because you take the knight, he takes, and you take the queen. So if you just want to get out of this with a draw, that's okay. If you want to play for a win, you might try something else. Looks like knight c6, the other book move. I was pausing as I looked at this. I was just wondering about the move. Okay, that's no good. The move f6. The idea being try and chase this knight away, and then come in with the check. But I guess this is good. Knight c4. Queen here, check. Oh, the pawn is in the way of the queen. That's what I wasn't seeing. Okay, so anyway, that was just a fantasy variation there. So the main idea here is either play knight c6 or to take the knight. And the game continues, very complicated game, and it's all right. But my opponent did not take the gambit, so let's take a look at what was actually played in the game. He played d3. And so there's not many lines here. I can take, I guess. The computer thinks taking is okay. I played d6. I'd never seen this particular response before. And he played knight c3, and then we're out of the opening book here. So let's take a look at it. And you can see the game is about even. So white has no opening advantage, but he's not losing here either. It's a thing he can play. And so it goes on more or less even for a while. This move a3 I thought was kind of slow. And gradually, knight g5 was an outright mistake. I mean, there's no point in, well, there was a point. I chase it with h6, and then he gets a square over there. But he's taken, he's invested 3 moves on that knight, and I can just trade it. So maybe it was not the best investment. I decide to kick it this way. He takes. And I take back, and then he plays g3. And you see black has an advantage here because of white's waste of time with his moves. So I come up with this idea. I notice this pawn here is pinnable, right? It's the bishop is pinning it against the queen. And the way white has set up his pawns on these dark squares is weakened the light squares here, so I'm just taking advantage of that. He might try and play h3 right away. I guess that's one of the moves, although bishop g2 is the move given by the engine. So all these are playable, but definitely black has an edge here, and goes along with this slight edge. But this next move here, he plays knight takes f6 check, and this is kind of the final straw where things really start to go downhill. What does the engine say? The engine says he should run with the knight back to c3 immediately. He needs to defend this pawn. It's already attacked twice. It's defended twice, but it's defended by a king and a queen, so I'm already threatening to just take it. So he played knight takes f6, I take back, and then he defends with the bishop. But this just doesn't work. The computer is suggesting queen c6, but the move I played, rook f e8, is also one of the good moves here. There, came up to number 3 spot, queen c6, e takes f4. These are all good moves here. Just you've got a choice of good moves. But the idea here was now he can't really defend this pawn anymore because I'm just going to take here and I've got an extra piece on it, and he has no more pieces he can bring to defend it. The engine actually recommends c3, the move he played, but this fails to knight takes e2, also engine recommended. And taking back just doesn't really work here. He played king d2, which is one of the choices. f5 is the top choice here, I guess, trying to shut down this file a little bit. But that's just basically giving up material for nothing. But if he takes, let's take a look at this line. This is what I had calculated. If he takes with the queen, oh look, it shows a draw. Let's see, what should I have played here? It says play e takes f4 first. Yeah, and then this is pinned, and I'm just winning it. Okay, so that's the way to win. Okay, and this line I was thinking about, king takes e2. So queen takes e2, obviously you play e takes f4 and you've pinned the queen to the king. So he has to take with the king. Then he can take here with check. And the king can go to f2 or f3. You can take here with check. And the king takes g3. And what have we got here? We've got 6 pawns. He's got 4 or 5 pawns. So you've got a pawn for a bishop, and you've got an exposed king. But the computer's giving up. Ah, no, now it sees it. Okay, I just thought this had to be winning. It's interesting how the engine thought it was just a draw at first, but then it realizes, yes, black can play for a win with rook a d8. Okay, so that would have been winning too. But actually, after bishop takes e2, the e takes f4 is a simpler way to play and stronger. Okay, but he didn't take the knight. He played king d2, and it's just that all these moves lose. Basically, it was all over at this point, and so we just kind of mop up here. Just keep opening lines. And you can see the evaluation stays strongly in black's favor the whole way. And now it starts to see a mate in 7. Let's see. Oh, and I start out with the right move. Bishop d3 check. King to b2. Rook e2 check. Runs there. Yeah, now it's a mate in 3. Queen e6 check. And here's where I noticed the mate in 2, starting with rook b2 check. It looks like queen c4 check is also a mate in 2. Queen here. Ah, yeah. Queen there, followed by queen c4. His only move is to king to a5, and then queen to b5 is mate. Okay, but I saw the other mate. You can only win the game once, so it's only 1 point per game, and no matter where he goes, it's checkmate. So a pretty mate with the king in the middle of the board, and that's how it ended. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.